Emmanuel in this time is not a loving matters and has caused more commotion in La République within the circle of Etoudi, Pobia inner circle, and this entire system. According to Emmanuel Macron, he asked the military that they need to force Pobia to step aside, and that according to those directives, Pobia will hand over power to Professor Maurice Kamto. And according to the directives, Professor Maurice Kamto will have 12 months to organize elections. And within that 12 months, they must institute a two-state federations that would have autonomous region as it was in pre-1960 or 1961, whichever comes first. According to these directives, it's been firm that La République military must execute it, either or they do not have any options, and that France do not want to step in. And if France has to step in to execute those instructions, then all the head military of La République will be grounded. And so they are panicked because they do not want France to step in. And in doing so, they are now gathered in Etoudi. Some inner circle of Biya regime have been gathered in and out in Etoudi. But the one sad incident is that many of the Anglophone-speaking ministers have been kept aside. They have not been fully have access to Etoudi. As I'm speaking, now within the past several days ago, they haven't been having access to Etoudi. The Prime Minister and head of government of La République was refused access to the president, and he was asked to return after he drove to the Etoudi. And he was saying the president does not want to receive any person. And so, but those, the inner circle of Etoudi, have been allowed access to meet the president of La République. And in this commotion, Paul Biya refused to accept incoming call from Emmanuel Macron in regard to these special directives that was instructed and to be followed immediately. So there is a fearful in Etoudi because one, Biya doesn't even know where to go, and he's not sure what would be the outcome should he give up power. But however, he doesn't have options because the military is asking him. He has no options. He has to step aside. Either he do so in goodwill or he can do it in bad will. But they do not have any options than to force him out of the system. And the inner circle are worried because they don't know what France is going to do. There is a high-level military of France that are currently in Yaoundé, in the French embassy. Top military planners of the French defense system are in Yaoundé and are currently having a special meetings discussing what options and probably Pobia exit and maintain stability should he step. But France has no choice to ask Biya to leave in good faith. So now there is a havoc between La République officials that are wondering what will be their next. As you may have seen in the press that some officials are now seeking asylum elsewhere around the world for their exit, as they're not sure what will be the outcome should Professor Maurice Kamto become the president of La République. So this nightmare has been ongoing cry that even Chantal Biya, the wife of the president of La République, is almost thinking of commit suicide because she doesn't know where she will go. But she's fearful. But however, she thought she has not been harmful to anybody. He has been very open to every top-level military officials. And she's thinking that by staying, nothing was going to happen to her. So, as this matter of continue to panic in La République, Biya has refused even to take a bath or we call here in the United States shower. Bia has refused for the past 24 hours to take a bath. Normally, he routinely go and take a bath, but he hasn't been within the last 24 hours. So this confusion and panic has not settled down in Etoudi. It is worrisome, and now they don't know what is the next plan. But it seems he wants to step out of Etoudi so that he can tender his resignation. But he doesn't show what will be the outcome of Professor Maurice Kamto. But it seems they wanted to invite Professor Maurice Kamto to Etoudi to come with a compromise dialogue that no harm should do on the old oligarchy, Paul Biya. However, this panic has not settled down, but they have sent a special envoy to meet Professor Maurice Kamto to discuss if there is going to be any trial of Biya for any crime. However, it seems the military is out of control, especially the more killing that is coming out especially the recent Babanki murder of 5 men and 5 women, and including a 7-year-old child. This information is coming at a point where they are in deep mess after the Ngebu massacre, and the world community is looking upon them and for any. So Paul Biya is not sure whether if he has to travel to Europe to tender his resignation, is he going to be traveled to Hague, the International Court of Justice, for his crime against humanity. So these questions is resurfacing. So they don't know what to do next. But however, they have no choice because France has asked them either the military force him out of office or France has to step in. Because France military personnel are somewhere around, either Ivory Coast somewhere around, and are preparing and have asked Biya, he has no choice to do so as soon as possible. So either the military do it and save themselves, or France step in and the military will perish. That is the latest news that is coming up, and this is Fundan Daniel speaking here from the great state of Texas, here in the United States